all you beautiful people, once again, Season 2, Episode 1 of Willfully Optimistic, an episode about masking pain. Here's a quote we are starting this episode off with. No man can cause more grief than the one clinging blindly to his vices. Life is difficult. It's endlessly changing, and it can be scary, sometimes even paralyzing. It's not about the stress or pain in life, though. It's how we respond to that pain. And for many of us, we reach for vices. We mask our pain in the immediate, but make it worse in the end. This isn't healthy and can be changed. What is a vice, you may ask? Well, in this sense, a vice is a bad habit. A habitual or frequent indulgence in promiscuous, immoral, or degrading practices. A vice is a practice, behavior, or habit generally considered immoral, sinful, criminal, rude, taboo, depraved, or degrading in the associated society. In more minor usage, vice can refer to a fault, a negative character trait, a defect, or a bad or unhealthy habit. Vices are usually associated with a transgression in the person's character or temperament rather than their morality. We all have vices. It seems to be one of the many commonalities between all humans. Some smoke, some drink, some eat, some sleep. The list is literally endless. I believe we seek refuge within these vices. We are bored. We are scared. We're lonely. And we reach for our vices to cope with our realities. Maybe, for some, even escape it. The problem is with continuously reaching for our vices in times of stress or sorrow is we create habits of always needing them when we feel this way. However, we are born with natural calming mechanism, natural stress relievers, such as exercise, communication, breathing, creativity, the list can go on. When we bypass using our natural methods and partake in use of vices, we begin to diminish the power these natural remedies can have. In summary, performing our vices only leads to further use of them, and they are often extremely detrimental to our health and well-being. Not just our physical health, also our mental health, our emotional health, and even our relationships. The thing about vices are, they're just masks. They cover up our pain so we can feel, air quotes, normal again, and put a face on for society, pretend nothing is wrong. But when they wear off, the problems we had once before resurface, and now we enter the repeating cycle. We ride their temporary high until it wears off, and we are back to feeling sad, depressed, and lonely. And when you hear high, you're thinking drugs, and you say to yourself, well, that isn't me. I don't do drugs. Well, this applies to all vices. Remember, a vice is a practice, behavior, or habit generally considered immoral, sinful, criminal, rude, taboo, depraved, or degrading in the associated society. That means eating food until you're inflated like a balloon, that's a vice. Watching TV all day, skipping all of your commitments, that's a vice. Going out to the bars every single night, lingering, searching until you find some random person to take home, that's a vice. All of our vices give us this temporary high, as I use in air quotes. This feeling of ecstasy, euphoria, elation. This feeling of relief, this escape. We feel good for as long as these highs last, allowing us to escape our reality and our pain. And then once the roller coaster begins to make its way down, we are once again stuck in pain and misery, except this time, even more so. And we see no choice but to repeat our habitual cycle. Before we continue, let's take a break for today's ads. So, why don't we just choose to use our natural pain relief remedies? Why don't we choose to use these natural stress relievers our bodies and minds are blessed with? Is it laziness? Is it society? What is it? Personally, I believe it's a mixture of both. Let's start with laziness. If in order to feel happy and have an elevated mood, You need your brain and body to release serotonin and dopamine. Exercising will do that. Being active and creative will do that. But no, that's a lot of work, and I already work all day. I'm tired. I'd rather just grab a fifth and sit down and let the booze release my neurotransmitters. Let the booze do it for me. Let the booze do the work. But again, what we don't think about is then our brains, endorphins, and neurotransmitters begin to become dependent upon these vices and don't properly work, release, or function without them, causing us to reach for them again in order to feel happy, in order to feel good, and once again, in air quotes, even in order to feel normal for some cases. What about society, though? How does society play a role in our use of vices? Well, first off, by encouraging it. There are whole industries based around our vices. We are making people million and billionaires by continuing to use our vices. Netflix. How addicting is Netflix? What happens when you end an episode? Before you can even grab the remote, before you even have a chance to reach your hand down and grab the remote and turn it off, it's already starting the next episode. Well, you don't want to miss out, do you? FOMO's real. No. Let's just stick around and watch another. And another. And another. Oh my God. Now it's 3 a.m. I feel better because I didn't think about the whole day. But now it's 3 a.m. I have to be up at 7. I have school in the morning. Oh shoot. How do you think you're going to feel when you wake up at 7 after escaping reality all day? Right? Masking your pain, never getting to the root of your cause, waking up at 7 with only 4 hours of sleep. How do you think you're going to feel? I'll let you sit on that one. Junk food. The sugar industry is the king of them all. You remember all those ads and marketing techniques that the tobacco industry used to trick all of our elders into believing smoking was the smart choice? You remember all those? The ones where the doctor would be like, oh, this one's the only cigarette I'd smoke, or oh, the best thing for pregnant women is to smoke cigarettes. You remember all those techniques? You remember all those marketing strategies? Well, let me tell you this. They learned those techniques from the sugar people. The whole fight and war against fat? Who do you think created that? The sugar people. Liquor stores and bars. Where I'm from, you can find one on every freaking block. And guess what? You're the loser if you're not there every Friday night. Come on, man. You gotta cut loose. And since everyone else has the vices of their own, they aren't one to hold you accountable to getting yours in check. No. They actually encourage you, intentionally and unintentionally. Alcohol and drugs are so much fun, you can try them too. I don't believe the old drug and peer pressure type of way where, you'd sit in the car and we always see that stuff in health class, like, hey, Jimmy, you got to try this or you're not going to be our friends. I don't think any of that exists, and that's why I typed in that they intentionally and unintentionally. But if it's around you, you start to get in your head. You start to build this anxiety like, oh, everyone else is doing it. Everyone else is doing it. Everyone else is doing it. I like these people. They're fine. Oh, I like Jimmy. He's really good. He's really good at football. He's really smart. He has a beautiful girlfriend. And he does all these stuff. He just drinks all day. He drinks every weekend. He smokes every day. He does this or that. Well, I mean, I kind of like Jimmy. Like, I kind of want to be like Jimmy. Maybe I can try it too. It's unintentionally peer pressuring you into doing things you shouldn't do. Food is so tasty. We deserve to eat like this, man. YOLO. Talking about your feelings? Man, that is weird and weak. Let's just go smoke a bowl, watch a movie, watch a funny movie, laugh, and pretend our problems don't even exist. The greatest temptations are not those that solicit our consent to obvious sin, but those that offer us great evils, masking as the greatest goods. We are weak, and our culture tends to encourage it to stay that way. Why meditate, reflect on your problems, and try to get to the root of them when we can just drink a beer and the problems go away? Why go to the gym, better ourselves, release boatloads of dopamine and serotonins, feel amazing, feel confident, when we could just go and get a Big Mac and feel pretty damn satisfied? Why find a group of friends that support us, communicate with us, raise us up, help us out with our feelings, when we could just hang with our buddies at the bar, raise a glass, and pause reality for the whole weekend? Something's got to change. At least I think so. I've seen it in my own life. I tend to be weak in so many areas. I care a lot about what people think, and to an extreme fault. So one bad comment about me, well, where's my bong? I tend to get lonely easy. So should I try to make friends? Should I try and go out and meet people? Nah. Jack, Morgan, and Jameson are the only friends I need. If I'm hurt by what people think and what people say, why don't I build tougher skin? Why don't I go talk to them and explain myself? Why don't I go take a walk? Why don't I go to the gym? Because I'm weak. If I'm lonely, why don't I find an organization that I would enjoy? Why don't I go to the gym? Why don't I make friends? Why don't I go out and meet people? Because I'm weak. Funny thing is, even after smoking my bowl or drinking my booze, my problems don't go away. I mean, for 60 minutes they sure did. Let me tell you. Woo-hoo! But as soon as I woke up, I felt just as sad or just as lonely as I did before. But again, this time, even more so. But just hold on. I could go smoke another bowl. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah. That's what I'll do. Woo-hoo! And the cycle continues. Now, is there anything wrong with a smoke sesh with your friends? Is there anything wrong with a wild night out? Is there anything wrong with devouring your teeth into a fat ass, juicy, cheesy burger? In my opinion, hell no. Hell nah. Those are the type of things that make life worth living, man. Those are the type of things that make memories. Those type of things are the icing on top of the cake. Those things are the icing. It's when it becomes a routine, a habit, a crutch, an addiction, an indulgence that happens too often. But when is too often? I think that's subjective, and that is up to you. That is up for you to decide. For me, as a 21-year-old student, enjoyer of fitness and health, well-being, a busy person, a worker, don't have a lot of free time, for me, one night out, one fast food stop, one TV binge a week is the max. That is the maximum. That is often enough for me. If even after all of those, I still don't feel super happy or enjoying life, if I still feel sad, down, or lonely, then I have other methods that I need to partake in. I need to go work out so that neurotransmitters release. I need to go talk to my friends and family about their lives and mine in order to feel more connected and loved. I need to find something I enjoy that's good for me so I can de-stress naturally. Maybe we need to embrace the pain. Maybe the pain is a good thing. Maybe the pain, like everything else in our life, was put in our way for us to handle, for us to overcome, for us to change, for us to grow. Maybe we need to embrace the suck of life. Maybe we need our downs so we can appreciate the ups. But because we see the lows as so devastating, so scary, we need to eliminate them as fast as possible. We have this innate desire to get rid of them the moment we feel them, without even knowing the consequences of doing such. But without the lows, there'd be no highs. Without the tribulation, there can be no rejoicement. How you view pain, how you view suffering, that's up to you. Not your dad, not your mom, not your friends, not society. If they all want to wallow in their pity and their pain, and indulge in their vices and destroy their health and life. That's their choice. But you have one too. The choice is yours. The choice is ours. The response to your trials is your election. I hope you learned of a new alternative to combat your pains today. A new way of thinking. An optimistic view of pain. Thanks for listening, and like always, until next time, take care, my friends.